Hello and welcome. It's your girl Janice with Diamond in the Rough Logistics, and I am here with series 5 of 6 regarding dispatching. If you are interested in dispatching, if you've just started in truck dispatching, or it's something you're just thinking about on a low level or even on a high level, you may enjoy this video, right? So with that being said, take some notes if you need to, or come back, rewind the video so that you can get the most of the video as humanly possible. So today we're going to talk about juggling multiple owner operators, and how to get paid by them, right? Now, a lot of people are always saying when you get into truck dispatching that juggling multiple dispatchers is not an easy task. I definitely have to agree with them. I've been there, done that, and it is extremely hard depending on the particular owner operator. Now, for those of you who are new to trucking, owner operators are owners of the truck. It is his or her equipment. They are responsible for all aspects of their business: compliance, DOT medical cards, insurance, fuel, taxes, maintenance of their truck and or trailer. All of that is at their own expense. That's why they're called the owner operator. Okay. Now, dispatching is not an easy job. I say that because I'm speaking from my own personal experience. When it comes to dispatching, there are a lot of moving parts. They're coming from all different directions. They're coming from brokers. They're coming from factoring companies. They're coming from your owner operators, and they're coming from other dispatchers. This can be very stressful, right, for everyone who's involved. So keep in mind that you want to make sure that you do your best part at all times, right? We want to do our due diligence, ensure that we're researching everything that we need to do on behalf of our owner operator. We need to make sure that as a dispatcher, we are aware of anything that can happen. Weather changes, a load is canceled, an owner operator has a breakdown. We need to be communicating effectively and efficiently with our brokers as well as our owner operators. We must keep in mind that our drivers are always under pressure to get there timely and to get there safely. And as the dispatcher, you are the center of it all. As a dispatcher, you can always provide help to our owner operator by removing some of that stress off of his or her plate. Okay. Can you dispatch multiple owner operators? You probably can, depending if you are organized, if you are, if you have free time, if you effectively communicate with others, and if you can take constructive criticism. Now, how many trucks can one dispatcher dispatch? Is it 1, 2, or 10? We must always remember that when it comes to keeping everyone safe on the road and getting freight there on time, we have to remember all of that when it comes to dispatching. Some people can dispatch just 1 truck, some can do 2, some can do 10. It just depends on the person who is that dispatcher. I started with 1 truck. Once I got the hang of things, because I was absolutely brand new to trucking 8 years ago, I knew nothing. I couldn't tell you what bobtail meant. I didn't know what PO meant. I didn't know what a BOL or bill of lading meant. I was brand new. So I had 1 truck, right? I dispatched that truck. I learned how to do invoicing, negotiations. I did all of those things. And then once I got a lot of that knowledge locked in here, then I felt comfortable with adding another truck or a third truck, right? So again, I went from 1 and then I went to 2, and then I think I went from 2 to 5. It was either 2 to 5 or 2 to 4, but it happened within a year of me starting. I went from 1 to a total of 5 trucks. Again, I started with 1 because I did not know anything about trucking. You may be different. You may know a lot about trucking and you're just taking the leap and saying, I'm going to start dispatching. And you can probably start with 2 trucks. On the other hand, I couldn't do so. Okay. So make sure you think about your time. If you are good with paperwork, if you are great with communication, that's going to help you determine if you can dispatch more than 1 truck at a time, or if you can dispatch a fleet. Now, again, as I mentioned, if you're going to juggle multiple owner operators, you have to have superior communication skills. This is key. Why? Is because you are going to spend a vast amount of your time on the telephones with your owner operators, brokers, factoring companies, other dispatchers, receivers, and shippers. So again, you're going to need to be able to communicate with them effectively, right? You as a dispatcher are the most important person in a trucker's world as the dispatcher. That's my personal opinion. Why? Because you are moving, you're blocking obstacles, and you're relieving stress for him or her. Okay. Organization is the second key. Being organized will help eliminate mistakes and save time as well as money. Okay. Organization is absolutely key in trucking. If you are someone who is not organized, you can't get organized, you can't stay organized, this is not for you. Because if you're going to have multiple owner operators, you're going to need to know which owner is where they're picking up, where they're dropping off, what they're hauling, what their equipment is, what their lease amount or rate is. You need to know all of that information. So you need to be organized. So have paperwork printed out, have electronic files on all of your owner operators, whatever it takes for you to stay organized, make sure you do it. Okay. If you need any helpful tips on that, please send me a message. Now, staying focused on one task at a time and limit your distractions. This is also very important, right? Because a lot of times we're at home, we're working, we're distracted, we're watching television, we're listening to something on the radio, or we have our cell phones in our hands and we're texting, we're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of those different things. Now, as a dispatcher, you're 9 out of 10 going to be working from home and you're going to be alone. You have to stay focused. Find whatever it is that you need so that you can concentrate, that you are staying focused and making sure that you're not getting sidetracked. Now, for myself, what I like to do when I get up in the morning and I start dispatching, I turn on music. It helps me. It's meditating. It sets the mood and I'm good to go. Now, that may or may not work for you, but give it a try. Next, attention to detail. We want to pay attention to everything in every document and everything that's said. I'm going to repeat that. You want to pay attention to everything, every document, and everything that's said. Okay? Prime example. If it's not in writing, it never happened. Right? So we want to pay attention to detail. When I call on a load, I always have pen and paper ready. On my paperwork, I'll have PU for pickup, DO for drop off. I'll have R for rate. I'll have W for weight. And then I'll start asking questions. And I'm detailing everything that the broker is telling me, right? What the commodity is, how many stops there are, what's the weight on the particular load? Will they need any accessorials? All of that information needs to be documented. You need to be as detailed as possible. So now you're done speaking with the broker and you now need to relay this information to your owner operator. You don't want to miss anything, right? The smallest thing could end up being the biggest pain. Meaning, let's just say you're speaking with a broker, he or she gives you some information, you forget something. Now you're translating this information to your owner operator, you forget that key detail. It could be something as simple as a load lock. Now, your owner operator is dispatched, he or she goes to pick up the load. They do not have a load lock because you forgot to tell them, right? Now they're upset with you. The shipper is about to close. The driver may or may not have time to go and purchase one, right? So we want to be as detailed as possible so we can eliminate the number of mistakes and errors, all right? Again, if you're going to juggle multiple owner operators, detail, detail, detail. Now, you're going to need the ability to multitask. You're going to need to be able to prioritize all tasks and responsibilities. Now, when I say multitask, you're going to need one cell phone in this ear, one cell phone in this ear, and you're going to need to be in front of a computer. You're going to answer text messages while you're on hold from a call. You're going to respond to emails while you're dialing a number for someone else. All of these things are considered multitasking, right? And while you're doing all that, you're going to also be online or in paper form completing a carrier packet. So again, multitask, multitask, multitask. Adaptable. Be willing to adapt to change. In trucking, nothing is the same every day. Every day, something's going to change. Okay, that's with your broker, with your owner operator. It just depends on the day of the week, right? We know that from our personal lives that things never stay the same, although in some cases we want them to, but in some cases they don't. So we need to be adaptable to change. Have a high level of confidence. Be confident. Don't let anyone, that's the broker, your carrier, your owner operator, anyone make you think you can't do this. You can do whatever you set your mind to, right? Again, take me for an example. I started 8 years ago. I had absolutely no training in trucking. I knew nothing about equipment. I didn't know what a lane meant. I didn't know what a PO was. I didn't know anything. And some of you are probably thinking PO, purchase order. Well, in trucking, PO stands for power only. I didn't know that. So don't let anyone shake you or put fear in you to make you think you can't do it. You can do anything you set your mind to it. Okay. Number 8, we're going to be empathetic and compassionate. We're going to always put ourselves in the shoes of the owner operator, show empathy and compassion. Why? Because they are human. And in most cases, they've staked all of their savings and they've put everything into their truck, their trailer, and they're trying to get on board to run their own company. And again, they're the owner operator, so they own everything. They're responsible for the taxes, the expenses, the maintenance, the breakdowns, the tire repairs. So we need to be empathetic about that, right? And the last but not least, this probably should have been the first one. We want to have exceptional emotional self-control. There are going to be days when you want to snap. There are going to be days when you're going to just be like, F this is not for me. And there's going to be days when you're going to say, this is a breeze, right? Our emotions sometimes get the best of us. We need to control those. Hey, handle the situation, whatever it is, whenever it comes up, keep calm, keep smiling. They can feel it through the telephone, right? And when you hang up, you can scream, right? So let's practice that emotional self-control. Now, as a dispatcher, I always like to touch on how to get paid. Most people may say, oh, I'm a dispatcher. The factoring company is going to pay me. The broker's going to pay me. No, you are dispatching for the carrier or the owner operator. So that is who is going to pay you. He or she is going to sign your dispatch agreement. They're going to agree on the day and the form in which you should be paid. They're going to pay you in a flat dollar amount. They're going to give you a percentage of their weekly totals, or they can pay you per load. It's totally up to what you two agree upon. Now, how you'll get paid, you can be paid through direct deposit if the carrier has a payroll system. Of course, we have all of the payment apps, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Pay, Zelle, or they can pay you in cash or check if you guys are local to one another. So remember, you as the dispatcher are paid from your carrier or owner operator. You are not paid by the broker and you're not paid by the factoring company. Now, you as the dispatcher are going to invoice your owner operator for your services. You're going to send them an invoice. That invoice is going to list your fees, what those fees are for. Let's just say you're going to charge them a percentage of 10%. Let's just say hypothetically. And you have 4 loads that you've dispatched them on for this week. You're going to list those loads. I'll list the name of the broker, the day they picked up, the day that they delivered, where they went, what state that they picked up in, the state that they delivered in. And you always have those dates. You're going to list the total amount of that particular load, and you're going to list what your fee is from that total. And you're going to do that for all 4 loads. At the very bottom of your invoice, you're going to total what they owe you for those 4 loads. Again, it's 10%. Let's say for those 4 loads, they've grossed $4,000. Your invoice is going to show that they owe you $400. I highly recommend sending an email with the invoice attached. Why? Because you have a paper trail. Send an email to them. Let's say you build them every Friday. Every Friday, you're going to send out an email to them. It could be first thing Friday morning. You want to receive your payment in whatever format that you requested. If it's Cash App, if it's Venmo, Zelle, whatever it is that you two have agreed upon, that's the way you should receive your payment. Again, send it via email. If you use PayPal, they have a system that will generate an invoice, and it will also email that invoice to the carrier or the owner operator. Okay. Make sure that your dispatch agreement clearly outlines your payment terms. They are your terms. You are the driver of your own bus. So you determine what your terms are. Now, I hope I haven't talked you guys to death. I have my contact information along with Angela Berry, who is my partner at Overflow Logistics. If you have any questions, please shoot the two of us an email, copy both of us so that one of us can get back to you as soon as possible. With that, if you ask me if you can juggle more than one owner operator, my answer to that would be absolutely yes. Take your time, pace yourself, be patient, and just go for it. With that, subscribe, like, share, comment. See you guys later. Bye-bye.